Good morning. Just trying to make sure I got the right audio device here, and I do. Okay. All right. So yesterday was a fantastic day. Made like $8,700. Now, of course, I'm in evaluation for all of these accounts and trying to pass. But yeah, it was a great day. I bought a few more $25,000 accounts too. I need to do a few housekeeping things here. Live. How do I get the chat? There we go. All right, so NQ overnight. Let's just take a look at it. Pull it over here. All right. So the last few days we've been just let me go to a 15-minute time frame. Okay, so for the last few days we've just like been hovering around for the last week or so. We were just kind of like hovering in this range, and then we pulled back through all of the MAs. These are the daily moving averages here. We pulled back, and this is the 50-day EMA right here, this yellow line. You can see we came down to the 50, and we're just kind of bouncing off the 50. Yesterday, actually the last 2 days, trading days, I've had fantastic trading days just because we did this little bounce off the 50, and then I just felt like we're in between these daily moving averages, and it's so important that you have these on your chart because price just reacts off of them. And I just had a feeling like, look, we're at the 21 here. Either we're going to break out to the upside through the 20 moving average, or we're going to come back down to the 50. And that's exactly what we did as the ladders. We came down to the 50. I basically shorted this from the top and caught this multiple legs of this down move here. And then we're just kind of like bouncing around. So yesterday pre-market, we came up to the 21, and I started shorting from here right at the 21 yesterday, and I caught multiple legs of this down move, and basically just played this off the 50, off of VWAP, off of the 21, the 10 EMA all day. Like these are massive levels. Um, there's just so much liquidity in these areas. And I think there's a lot of like just algos that are buying off the 50. But the good news is overall, I mean, we undercut the 50 a few times, but like we're supporting it. We're not breaking down. So we are we this is the first time that we've come down and touched the 50 and we're not still hanging below the 21. We actually broke out. I mean, this is a clear breakout above the 21 right now. So my if I were going to guess what's going to happen this morning is I would think like the rest of pre-market, we're going to have probably a nice move up. And then at open, we're going to retrace and we're going to at least bounce off of the 21. So if we get a nice move up here, there might be a really nice play for the 21 here. Because when the market's open and all that liquidity comes in, it's going to be sitting down here. Now, I don't know if we're going to come back down here to the 50. This might be the last time we see the 50 for a while. Because if you zoom out and you look at the daily time frame, we don't go to the 50 too often, right? Ever since April, this big up move. Look, here's the 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like there's like 10 touches in probably like a 4 or 5 month period. There's no touches to the 50 other than just like when we first started out. When we were under the 200 here, this red line, we came down, retested the 50, and look how we took off. Like tell me the 50 daily EMA is not important. Look at that. That is a wick right off the 50. And look at these. Undercut, boom. Like if you would have got long, like for a swing on an undercut of the 50 here, this at this 23,101, just look at this move. Insane move. Thousands of points. Same here. And then, so what was this? This was September 2nd, and the next time we touched the 50 was October 25th. So then we just come up, we do have a big dip below the 50. And then now we're just kind of like coming back up, holding at the 50 here. Nothing crazy. And then on the daily, I mean, we have this big sell-off here, which is like a kill candle, right? You see a big candle like this, absolute kill candle. It's destroying like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, almost 2 to 3 weeks worth of an up move. We're just kind of like hanging out here in big kill candle. And now we came back up to the 21. We closed below the 50, but we didn't get any follow through. There was no follow through to the downside. So what happens here? Look at this beautiful hammer candle right here where we undercut the 50 just one more time, right? Just one more time for good measure. And we close at the top of the 21. And then we came down a little bit again, just undercut this, but we're not really doing anything here. Like this is in no man's land, the bottom of this wick. But now we're clearly above the moving averages. Now, if you were playing this on the daily time frame, I think this would be a fantastic long, or to try at least attempt to go long here. So on the daily time frame, we're set up real nice. I would say over this high, which we're already over that high. And so let's zoom in a little bit. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. And Let's just take everything off the chart here for a second and just look at the 1 hour. And you can see that on the 1 hour, we're just in this range here. Where's my... So we've been stuck in this range, right? For, I don't know, like 2 weeks we've been stuck in this range. And then we dip below this range because we can't go higher. And now we're just like, and you can see the natural area of resistance, if I extend this, like we're just bouncing off the bottom of the range. So we're in this range, we reject it, we come back up, retest it, reject again, reject again, reject again, and now finally we're putting closes on the hourly back into range. So this is the first time we're back in the range. So I'm assuming that we're back in this range now. So today I'm overall bullish. I'm overall bullish on this, but what's going to happen like on the open? I think we're going to dip back down. We're going to retest this area, which is, let's just say 408. Now let's zoom in to the 5-minute time frame. 408. Yeah, okay, so 408's right here. It's right in between these two moving averages. And see this consolidation right here? We're consolidating between the 10 EMA, the 5 EMA, and the 10 EMA. 10's up here, 20's here, 5's here. So we're just bouncing between these moving averages. So I expect a nice up move here before 9:30. And then once 9:30 hits, I think we're going to be retesting in this area, and then we're going to go back up because this is looking very bullish on the 1 hour time frame. And another thing that you want to take into consideration here is, let's just zoom out a little bit. You know, we're kind of in this zone right here, right, where we put this in, where we have a clear support here, and then it's clear resistance, and now we're like breaking above that. I mean, you could call it here, you could call it here too. These are the wicks. I would actually say here there's more touches on this level than the other one, so we're clearly breaking to the upside here. And another thing you want to look at, if we go to, say, the 15-minute time frame and just zoom out a little bit, is we're putting in this downtrend here. So, I mean, we don't have many touches, but this is a clear, I mean, we're in a clear downtrend here. We double bottom, we break through the trend, we retest the trend, and now have a little problem trying to get support, and then we're kind of off to the races. And just one more thing. So this is like one of my favorite patterns. I actually did a video on this the other day. I want to see this like on a daily time frame where price kind of comes down like this, finds a bottom, usually a double bottom, but the second one's usually not as low as the first move down. And then what do you see here? This is just, to me that I just see this like right away when I look at this chart. This is just, to me, this is incredibly bullish, because what do I see? I see my favorite pattern to trade ever, an ascending wedge. I think this is the strongest bullish pattern there is. I mean, you can also see this to the downside too. But just look at this. So we come down, we put in our lows, and then we go up to this high point here. And you could, you know, maybe the high point's like here, maybe it's like right in here, whatever the case may be. We make the move up, and then we put in a higher low, and then we put in a higher low. This one we wick down a little bit, but then we're clearly putting in higher lows here. Clearly another higher low. Up until the point where we don't have much more room inside of this wedge shape because buyers are just stepping up. And even though there is a lot of sellers at this level, because it's at the support here, but now sellers are, there's a lot of big sellers right here. At some point, these sellers are going to be overwhelmed. And since we made the break in pre-market, I think we're going to retest this during market hours. Just because there's going to be a lot of liquidity sitting here. And I think we're going to, excuse me, I think we're going to retest there. So overall, super bullish on what is happening here, both on the daily time frame and the hourly, and this 15-minute, this ascending wedge pattern. I absolutely love it. All right. So now that we have that, let's go back to the 5-minute time frame. And we're in this big ascending wedge here. And literally the 21, like these EMAs are the top of our wedge. And look, they've been the top of our wedge. That's a 21 EMA. Every single time we're like coming up close to it. Now it's not going to be exact. This is the 20 EMA. Maybe the 21's used more than the 20. Like, it doesn't really matter. I'm just saying this area is where a major moving average is on the daily. All right, I think I drilled that home enough here. So this, we're just kind of looking pretty slow here. Let's see what this is. I just don't think there's that much movement. But I would like this. I like this for a long, actually. I do like this for a long. But I'm not going to trade my Primo accounts on a long in the pre-market. So we got out of this. This is pretty slot. Look how, man, there's so much range here in this consolidation. We could go up and just consolidate even longer.